Drugs, bad guys, and murder.
What's an ice crime?
Are you saying ice cream or ice crime?
Ice crime.
Okay, it's just with your accent, it's hard. I'm not reporting an ice cream.
Yes, no, I get that.
Okay.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 action film The Fall Guy. The film is directed by David Leitch and it stars Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Hannah Waddingham, and Teresa Palmer. Right, okay, this is the remake of the classic 1980s TV show The Fall Guy that starred Lee Majors. And it follows stuntman Colt Seavers, played by Ryan Gosling. He is the stunt double of Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character, Tom Ryder, who is a huge movie star. He is at the start of a relationship with Emily Blunt's character, Jodie. At the beginning of the film, they're working on a film together, and there's a lot of chemistry between them, and then he ends up breaking his back in a stunt. He kind of disappears within himself and then turns up years later as he is brought back to be part of the stunt team for Jodie's first film that she is directing. However, there is a problem. Tom Ryder, the main star of the film, has gone missing, and the producer, Gail, asks Colt Seavers to try and find him and bring him back to set. This then starts a roller coaster of stunts, action, and humour. Right, what are my thoughts on The Fall Guy? The first thing I want to say is this is definitely an entertaining film. No two ways about it. Very entertaining stuff. It's a fun movie. There's got humour in it. It's got incredible stunts, as you would expect. And there's a few quotes going around that, the whole film is like one big advertisement for, best stunt sort of thing at the Oscars, which it's criminal how, if you like, stunts and stunt performance have been overlooked for so long in Hollywood, and certainly the awards season. So you would expect the action and the stunts to be absolutely on point, and they really are. Very much so on point here. They are the star of the film, really. Now, the issue for me with this film is it is a very distant relative, in my opinion, of the TV show. Now, it's a TV show that I have a lot of affection for. In the 80s, the TV shows were absolutely incredible. They just kept churning them out, A-Team, Knight Rider, Airwolf, Fall Guy. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. They were just so iconic, really. And I loved The Fall Guy. I loved that theme song, the truck. I mean, Lee Majors was the $6 Million Man. He was, such a big part of my childhood growing up. And other than his character being named the same as Lee Majors, they are very different. The TV show, for example, yes, he was a stuntman, but he was also a bounty hunter. Whereas in this, he is just a stuntman. So there are similarities, but for me, there's very little DNA from the TV show in here. So I think probably people who aren't nostalgic for the TV show will probably watch that and come away like mind blown almost. And wow, how entertaining was that? And I get it. It is absolutely entertaining. But for others who kind of remember the show, watched the show and grew up with it, I don't necessarily feel as though the film carries on the legacy or is like respectful to the legacy of the TV show. And it might have worked as well, maybe if it was like an origin story for Colt Seavers, becoming a bounty hunter or something like that. Because, it could have that's the direction he could have gone in by the end of the film, but it doesn't go in that direction. It focuses very heavily on the love story between himself and Emily Blunt's character, Jodie, which is fine. I mean, for me, two of the most charming actors that you could cast in any movie is Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Ryan Gosling's in one of one of my most favourite films of all time, The Nice Guys. I think when he's playing characters like this and in The Nice Guys, you know, his comedy timing is just on point. I mean, he's very, very good. He's very, very funny, and he can clearly handle the action side of things as well. So he is just fabulous in this role. He really is very, very good. And so is Emily Blunt. They're both so charismatic, they're both so charming, and they've got great, great on-screen chemistry. And then you've got Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character as this Tom Ryder, who's in the film a decent amount, and really his character seems to me like a parody of Matthew McConaughey with his accent and some of his mannerisms. It was quite amusing at times. But beyond, it's actually quite a paper-thin film in regards to plot. Like I say, it's just a vehicle for stunts. And again, if you look too deep into this film, okay, yes, Colt Seavers is a stuntman, but stunts are meticulously set up, arranged, safety features put in place so that, the risks are as small as humanly possible. So just because he's a stuntman doesn't mean he can go out on the streets and hang off the side of trucks or, have fights in skips and not get hurt and this kind of stuff. So you've got to kind of remove your common sense chip, if you like, when you're watching this film. But it's spectacular stuff, from beginning to end, this film. Now, beyond the thin plot, if you like, I mean, it's set in Australia, the thin plot of him trying to find his Tom Ryder character, the plot in itself is actually quite predictable in a lot of ways. I just felt as well, it's quite paper thin and it's quite predictable in regards to who the villain of the piece is, sort of thing. It's not worried too much, this film, about giving you well written, fleshed out characters or a well thought out developed script. It's more interested in giving you, explosions, fun, quick, witty scenes, that kind of stuff. And I can't help but feel a little, just a tad disappointed. I had a lot of hope going in for this, I've been a big fan of the TV show. And I almost think that I would have enjoyed this more if it hadn't have been based on the TV show. If they'd have called it something else, The Stuntman, and didn't call him Colt Seavers and it had no connection to the show, I probably would have enjoyed this maybe a little bit more. And while the film does have cameos from, the stars of the original show, it's kind of blink and you'll miss them kind of cameos. I would have hoped for maybe a bit more for Lee Majors to do in this film, but hey-ho. So, yeah, I think this film's going to do well. I think audiences are going to enjoy it. I think, silly old buggers like myself who, sadly remember the TV show, this doesn't kind of sit as comfortably with me maybe as others. But, hey, that's just me. That doesn't mean that this isn't entertaining, because it really, really is. It's well-made, entertaining, and David Leitch, as we know, Leitch, I don't even really know how you pronounce that. He did one of my favourite action films of the last couple of years, Bullet Train and stuff. He knows how to do action. So, people that enjoy action and with a little bit of lightness and humour thrown in there, you're going to have a decent time with this film, because it is definitely entertaining. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.